Welcome to this special edition of the CJ Werleman Show. I'm your host, CJ Werleman. Thank you for joining us. Now let's get into it. Next year's ICC Men's Cricket World Cup will be the 13th edition of the once every 4 years tournament, comprising the 10 best 50-over cricket teams in the world. This is white ball cricket's holiest grail, and nobody is more desperate to win it than India, given this will be the first time the tournament is held entirely in a South Asian country. The World Cup is one of those all too rare moments where global politics are put aside to create new legends and fairy tale endings.
This should be quite a contest.
All is set for an extravaganza of cricket.
The World Cup is here.
Oh, no way! No way!
And smiles all around for the West Indies.
Unbelievable, what a comeback from Pakistan.
Outstanding from Sheldon Cottrell.
And barely anyone alive today will forget the 2019 World Cup final when New Zealand needed just 2 runs to tie off the final ball of the tournament.
This is the moment, it's Archer to Guptill. 2 to win. Guptill's going to push for 2, they've got to go. It's got to throw, it's got to go to the keeper's end. He's got it! England have won the World Cup by the barest of margins! By the barest of all margins! Absolute ecstasy for England! Agony for New Zealand!
But now that I've got you all excited for international cricket, here comes the bad news. India does not deserve to host the Cricket World Cup, given its appalling human rights abuses against religious minorities and its crackdown on journalists and human rights defenders. The International Cricket Committee must strip India of its right to host a tournament because if the ICC doesn't stand up for the rights of minorities, it stands for nothing. But we know the ICC does care about human rights, given it banned Afghanistan from playing under the Taliban flag at last year's T20 World Cup, because of the way in which the Taliban government persecutes religious minorities. Well, the Hindu nationalist radicalized regime of Narendra Modi has mistreated Muslims so badly, deliberately and methodically that human rights experts are claiming a Muslim genocide is now well underway in India and Kashmir.
Genocide is not an event. It is a process. It develops. I'd say right now, it would be very hard to say, that there's a genocide in Kashmir or there's a genocide in Assam. What there are, however, are the early signs and processes of genocide in both of those places.
All the hallmarks of genocide are evident in India today, from discriminatory laws that target Muslims to hate speech from members of India's ruling party and Hindu leaders. It's no wonder hate crimes against Muslims, Christians and Dalits have skyrocketed under Prime Minister Modi. And even one of India's closest allies, the United States, has now condemned the Modi regime for persecuting religious minorities, insulting Islam and demolishing Muslim homes as a form of intimidation and collective punishment. It should be noted here that the United States government also enforced a diplomatic boycott against the Beijing Winter Olympics over China's abuse of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang. It now falls upon the shoulders of participating countries to follow the United States' lead by invoking a diplomatic boycott of the 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup, at the very least. Other than India, the other participants include Australia, England, Pakistan, New Zealand, West Indies, Sri Lanka and 3 other qualifiers. The governments of these countries must threaten to boycott the tournament if the Indian government continues to persecute Muslims, journalists and human rights defenders. To that end, corporate sponsors share in this responsibility too. Coca-Cola is a major sponsor of international cricket, having signed a deal worth hundreds of millions of dollars to sponsor the World Cup. Were it to condemn the Modi government for its human rights abuses, it would send a chill down the spine of the Indian Prime Minister. Because nothing scares the Modi regime more than an international boycott, particularly one that targets cricket, a sport that has attained religious status in India. Watch former Australian cricket captain Steve Waugh explain just how important cricket is to the Indian people.
It was an amazing trip. We went to the beaches, to the desert, to the mountains. We were a cross-section of people and scenes. They love cricket. It unites the people, it gives them a connection to each other, and it makes them feel really good. For a lot of them, it's a bit of a break from living in poverty. There's 800 million people live below the poverty line. But cricket unites them and makes them feel good, and it makes them feel connected to each other.
Were the ICC to strip India of the right to host the 2023 World Cup, or were participating countries to suddenly withdraw from the event, the political cost to the Modi regime would be astronomical. He would have to explain to more than 1 billion people why India is being treated like an international pariah. It would be the ultimate humiliation. You see, sporting boycotts work. They were successful in helping end apartheid in South Africa during the 1980s, and they are taking a toll on Israel's apartheid rule in the Palestinian territories today. According to leading economists, sporting boycotts have the power to cut fresh inroads, impose heavy sacrifices on the target, and inflict deep internal cleavages in the political fabric of the target regime. Depriving India the ability to compete on the international stage against its international cricketing peers will exact an enormous psychological toll on the Indian public, and may for the first time in many years give the Modi government a bitter taste of what international isolation looks and feels like. One that is likely to threaten its steely determination to make Muslims second-class citizens in India and Kashmir. And it's not like the Indian government can play the victim here, because it's no stranger to threatening boycotts of its own. Members of the Modi regime not only call for a total economic boycott of Muslim-owned businesses, but also threaten to boycott international cricketers who play in the Kashmir Premier League. The international cricketing community must now dish out the same medicine to India to make it reconsider its heinous mistreatment of religious minorities, journalists, and human rights defenders. And let me end with this. As a former international cricketer who represented Indonesia at the 2007 ICC World Cup qualifiers, I don't take calls for cricketing boycotts lightly. I love cricket and I love the Indian people. A World Cup boycott is not something a majority of Indian cricket fans deserve, but it may be the only course of action that will make the Indian government change from its current course, which of course will save 200 million Muslims from genocide. Anyway, that's my time for today. Thank you for watching this special edition of the CJ Werleman Show. Please like and subscribe to this channel and help spread the word with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we kindly ask you, please support this endeavor by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWerleman. We can't sustain, improve, and grow this endeavor without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good night, good morning, or good day, wherever you are, and stay blessed.